The biggest concern or struggle that I see that people are facing, and even myself, this is one of the biggest things that I was personally facing when it came to manifestation, is around the topic of emotions. And this is because we know and we've heard in our study of manifestation that in order to manifest, we need to feel as if we already have our desire. We understand that our emotions and that our feelings are strong and they manifest our external world. Now, while it's true that our feeling state does manifest, I'm here to reassure you that it's okay that you have emotions and that, in fact, we should not be suppressing our emotions. In fact, suppressing our emotions does way more harm than good. You can have negative emotions and still manifest the life that you desire. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosa, and if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, then welcome. It's so nice to have you here on the channel. If you're interested in getting one-on-one coaching with me, checking out my free webinar on self-concept, or purchasing my brand new book called Becoming a State Shifter, then all of that and more is on my website, www.rosa.com, and in the description down below. Now, here's a newsflash, okay? We are human beings, and a part of the essence of being human, we're gonna have emotions come up. And we're gonna have emotions come up that we can't control. We're gonna have things happen to us, externally to us, that affect our internal state. The biggest thing that I wanna emphasize in this video is that there is no shame in having negative emotions. In fact, if you're dealing with something right now, I want to first and foremost just send my love to you, send energy to you, and support to you to validate you and your experience for feeling exactly the way that you do. You have your emotions for a reason. Our emotions are our greatest teachers. Now, I think it's important to talk about what truly manifests. What is it that manifests in our lives? So we do know that as a general statement, yes, our feelings do manifest. But what Neville Goddard says is that what manifests is the state in which we dwell in, okay? Where are we dwelling? Where are we living our life most of the time? It's not about being perfect, but it's about continuously redirecting our focus, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions most of the time to be in alignment with the life that we're creating. The key word here is most of the time, not all of the time. This means that there will be some portions of the time where you may have negative emotions, negative experiences, and negative feelings come up for you. Now, the reason it's so important to not suppress our emotions is because we don't manifest the thoughts or the emotions that we have once or twice. We manifest based on what has been impressed on our subconscious mind. Suppressed emotions get stuck in the body. Suppressed emotions get stuck in the subconscious because the body is the subconscious mind. So it's important that we're not keeping the trapped energy stuck in our bodies. Now, there is a fine line. And the key word here is in the word balance. When it comes to emotions, there are two ways that people can quote unquote mess up their manifestations. And it's a fine line to distinguish these two different ways. The first way is by what this video is about, what we're talking about, which is not suppressing our emotions. People will suppress their emotions. They will bypass their emotions because they think they only need to think positive all the time. They only need to feel positive. As soon as they feel any negative, undesirable emotion that they feel uncomfortable in, instantly switch it. And again, I do talk about how we do need to switch our thoughts to the positive, but there's a balance between first feeling and processing the emotions before switching it. The key is how long do we stay stuck, right? How long are we staying ruminating on those feelings before we switch it to the positive? But that doesn't mean that we don't feel it, right? So that's the first way that people quote unquote can mess up their manifestations, is by completely suppressing and bypassing all the emotions that are coming up from them and just acting like everything is perfect, because that is actually staying trapped and stuck in our body and subconscious mind, and that is what's going to manifest because it's trapped. And also, so we're not living in a state of constantly feeling like there's something wrong, there's something missing. I'm in a state of constant unhappiness because these emotions are trapped in my body and I don't know where they are, what they're coming from. And how we can release these emotions, I'm going to talk about soon. But now let's talk about the second way that people could quote unquote mess up their manifestation through the means of emotions. And that is if they are over focusing on the negative, over focusing on what I need to heal, what I need to fix, what diving into the shadow. Healing is necessary. But if you're stuck in that place for too long, that's what you're going to manifest as well, because you're infiltrating your mind with that focus. You're focused on things always being wrong. When you're focused constantly on healing or keeping your focus on what's wrong and how you're not yet where you want to be, that is also a block, right? So both not feeling your negative emotions enough or at all, or feeling your negative emotions too much and staying stuck there and never switching to the positive, both of these things are unbalanced, right? We need to find this happy balance between the two, where we're not bypassing, but we're also not staying stuck in our negativity. Because if we're stuck in our negativity, we're never switching it to the life we want to create, the positivity that we want to call into our lives, and the new self-concept, the new story, and the new identity that we're calling in. So whichever side you resonate with, this video is about finding the balance. And we find the balance by this. First of all, I'm not a therapist. I am not an energy healer, so I need to get that out there. I can only share what has personally helped me in the hopes that you find value in it and it helps you as well. As soon as an emotion comes up, whether that's triggered from something internal or it's triggered by an external event, maybe something traumatic happened in your life, or there's just something in your life that it's a self-concept that you carry maybe that brings up negative emotions, you have doubts towards your manifestation, brings up emotions, you've had something literally traumatic happen to you, brings up emotions. In these moments when it comes up, and you feel called to work on this thing and heal this emotion that's coming up, that's when you take the time to dedicate to processing and healing. And the way that you can do this is through energy work, such as breath work, such as EFT tapping, which is emotional freedom technique, which releases energy through tapping on different meridian points on the body. And there's a whole science behind it. You guys can look into it on your own time, of course. But different things like hypnosis. Spend time that you are consciously dedicating to healing those aspects, those emotions, and those things that are coming up for you. And, on a manifestation level, on a deep level, the reason, like when emotions and things get trapped in our body, they're not dealt with and they're not healed, we're going to continue to manifest that same situation, not the same situation particularly necessarily, but the same process, the same cycle, the same story, the same self-concept that you've repeated that created this negative event. If we're not healing it at all, it's going to repeat in our lives. The cycle's going to return. The ex-boyfriend is going to show up in a different person, in a new face, with a new name, but the same type of situation. You're going to attract a friend that treated you just like your father. You're going to attract your child to be treating you exactly the way that your mother did, right? So we need to heal these things, not stay stuck in the healing, but do that initial healing work to release the trapped emotions from our body. We can always redirect to the positive, and that should be an essential part of this, and that's what I'm getting to as well, is that at a certain point, once you feel like you've done enough work, you've done, a good amount of work, you don't need to be fully healed. You're never, in fact, fully healed, but once you start to do the work, you will start to feel freer and lighter, and then that is the point in time where you begin to input in these new affirmations. The question is, how long are we staying stuck in the healing cycle? Of course, it's situational. Of course, it depends on the, event that happened and how extreme it is. If it's just a light emotion coming up that you need to quickly process through and heal and work through, then you don't need to stay stuck in it for too long. This whole thing about emotions is so important too, because, what's the whole reason we want to manifest? We want to manifest because it's going to make us happier, because we believe that there is a state that is out there. There's something out there that will make me happier than I currently am right now. That's why we have our desires. So we can constantly be better and improve and feel better and feel good in our life. So if we're keeping these suppressed emotions stuck in our body, we're not going to be feeling good. Even if we attract the thing that we desire in our life, what's the point of attracting the things we desire if we don't feel good in that process? So that is why processing our emotions is a good thing. It's also important to not stay stuck in that. Be mindful about how long are we there and when are we redirecting to the positive. You will always manifest the state in which you rest. If you are living in a state of happiness, you will attract happy things. If you're living in a state of emotional turmoil, you're going to attract more things of emotional turmoil because that is the state which you reside in your consciousness. So no, it's not about if an emotion comes up, you're not going to manifest that emotion particularly. If you stay stuck in that emotion and it becomes your state of being and you are just a being who is unhappy all the time, that is what manifests, because that is the state you live in. You're living in this state where your subconscious mind is constantly looking for things to be wrong. So that is why shifting our state is so important. And that's why I wrote the ebook that I did, because it's about our overall state that manifests, right? It's how we are feeling and being at all times. I'd be way more concerned with your overall state and how you're feeling most of the time than in those moments where emotions come up for you to work through. Everything is in how you view it and perceive it. The real question that will tell you if you're going to be manifesting a life that you desire is, are you a happy person? Focus on being your desire, acting in alignment with your desire, acting and embodying this version of you that you would be if you had your desire most of the time. That should be your dominant state. If emotions come up to be healed, breathe it out, tap it out, cry it out, release the energy that is stuck in the body, journal about it, reflect on it, but then redirect to the truth, which is the life that you're calling in and creating as the power that you have as the creator of your life. Yes, our feelings matter, but what matters most is the state in which we dwell. If our emotions are completely dysregulated, we're not going to be dwelling in a positive state. I hope that this video brought you some value and some help on your journey. That is my intention for this video. If you did get value, please let me know in the comment section down below. If this video helped you out, please leave this video a like. Hit that subscribe button for new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Love you.